By this point, I'm sure you've heard, but Hunter Biden has been indicted on 3 federal gun charges. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into what those charges are exactly, what the possible penalties for it are, and does he really face any risk of getting those penalties? And we're going to discuss, is this all a sham, or is this legit, and is justice being served? All this and more coming up. You're watching Fight and Revive with Adam Boyer, so buckle up.
America is no longer one nation under God. Are you ready to fight for a revival? Well, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to Fight and Revive with Adam Boyer.
The Daily Wire has reported, obviously this story is a week ago or so at this point, but I wanted to, I know it's a little bit late to the party, but I wanted to get on and at least give my analysis, even though it's a little bit late. I apologize for not being able to get these episodes out sooner. But federal prosecutors have indicted Hunter Biden on gun charges, according to court documents, reports Tim Pierce of the Daily Wire. Special counsel David Weiss filed charges against President Joe Biden's son after the two sides failed to reach an agreement on a plea deal that fell apart last month. It was Mariella Norica, I believe is how you pronounce her name, the judge that basically laughed their plea deal out of court, which would have given Hunter, a misdemeanor fine, and that was pretty much it. And it was obviously a sham, and it all fell apart from the court. It was a beautiful thing, and it was nice to see justice being served even on a small level. The indictment, reads the article, charges the president's son with 3 crimes related to false statements made on a federal application to purchase a firearm. The charges relate to a time when, in October 2018, Hunter claimed he was clean of drugs to purchase the handgun. In his memoir, he wrote later on that he was addicted to crack cocaine at the time. Oh, that's, not at all suspicious. 2 of the counts carry maximum sentences, wow, that was impressive, sentences of 10 years in prison, while the third carries a max sentence of 5 years. So do the math, 10, 10, and 5, and you're looking at a maximum of 25 years in prison. Is he going to get that? No. Is he going to get any prison time? We'll see. The stiff sentences are a sharp contrast to the agreement worked out under the failed plea deal. The indictment states, Hunter, quote, knowing that he was an unlawful user of and addicted to any stimulant, narcotic drug, and any other controlled substance, did knowingly possess a firearm that is a Colt Cobra 33 SPL revolver. Now, I just want to say, remember, this is all related to the gun charges. They're still not charging him with the tax fraud stuff, which is the more serious crime. The IRS does not take tax fraud lightly, except apparently when it's the Biden family that's doing it. But if you, fail to report a, couple $1 million on your tax returns, you're going to have maybe some armed agents beating down your door. That wouldn't be entirely surprising. So Weiss signaled earlier this month that he was looking at charges against Hunter related to lying on a federal firearm registration form and owning a gun illegally. Hunter's failed plea deal struck with Weiss included 2 misdemeanor tax charges as well. And again, those should have been felonies. They were misdemeanors. And again, nowhere to even be found here. So, does this even mean anything? Is Hunter going to face any charges? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. He might get a couple years in prison. It'll be knocked down to probably like 5 years in prison, maybe some probation. Whatever it is, it won't be anything serious. And then he'll probably get pardoned anyway. That's the thing, too. Joe Biden is the president. He could literally just pardon Hunter. So that could raise some questions there. But obviously, right now, Joe Biden is not doing well. He's not doing well in the polls, which, to be fair, are early out, but they've held throughout his entire presidency that the voters think he sucks, understandably. And obviously, he's not looking very strong heading into 2024. He has Robert F. Kennedy kind of nipping at his heels. Right now, he's only got about 20% or so of the Democrat vote, but you never know what could happen. You got Gavin Newsom, who says he's not going to run, but who knows if he is. And then on the Republican side, of course, a lot of strong Republican challengers. The guy I'm backing, Ron DeSantis. Of course, Donald Trump right now, way up in the polls. I'm still skeptical if these polls mean anything. I don't care how many come out. But, and you can call it denial if you want, but I'm not ready to call the race over just yet. I think there needs to be some serious changes by the campaigns, but I think everyone still has a shot in this to an extent, mostly DeSantis and perhaps Vivek Ramaswamy and, of course, Trump. These guys are all challenging Joe, and this has been a very bad look for Joe. he has been obviously saying this whole time that he never talked to Hunter. Okay, well, then I talked to Hunter, but it was just about the weather. But I never received any money. And, well, yeah, I didn't receive any money. We may discuss the dealings a little bit. But originally, of course, it was never we talked about anything at all. So, obviously, this is not a good look. This hasn't been a good look for Joe Biden. And the pressure and evidence has been so overwhelming. Everyone knows at this point. The Democrats will deny it, but they all know it, even the voters. And Republicans obviously know it. And independents, it polls obviously very badly with them. And so, after the Devon Archer testimony and all of that, it was going to be pretty impressive if they just completely ignored this. Like, impressively bad if they just ignored all this. And so they finally indict him. He's going to go to court. He's going to go to trial. And does anything happen? I don't know. Like I said, maybe a few years in prison. But why do I think it's happening? I think it's because they want it to look good for Joe Biden. And you might think, why would Joe Biden's son being indicted look good for him? Because it then shows the justice for all, and Lady Justice has a blindfold on, and there are not two tiers of justice, as Merrick Garland recently came out and said, which is impressive that he went through this whole shtick about there are not two tiers of justice in this country, not one for young and old, white and black, and Republican and Democrat, and he said it all with a straight face, and that was very impressive. Because, we're seeing BLM burn the country down in 2020, nothing, and then, as Michael Knowles would say, a Midwestern granny takes a selfie in the Capitol Rotunda, we're going to throw her into solitary. So, that's fun. But this at least feigns, look, the Department of Justice, they're going after even the president's son. They're not stopping. There aren't two tiers of justice in this country, and we are going to fight to preserve justice. And also, voters, we got Hunter. Look away. Joe wasn't involved. Look away. Look away. And if you must look at look, we found some aliens. That is one of the all-time most blatant political moves, I guess I'll say. Like, you couldn't have made that a little less obvious. Like, yeah, Hunter Biden gets indicted. Oh, look, there's some aliens. Hey, Joe Biden might be involved. Hey, look, here we found some alien bodies down in Mexico. If you're really stupid enough to think that this alien stuff is just coming up all out of the blue, I feel kind of bad for you, honestly. Matt Walsh would tell you the aliens exist. I love Matt Walsh. I don't think the aliens exist. I'm sorry.
The comparison only proves why the alien stories are more credible.
I hate to burst anyone's bubble if you were holding on to that hope, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to give the aliens the light of day on this show, hopefully, more than I already have. So I think that's why Hunter's been indicted, is to take the political heat off Joe as much as possible. However, of course, this also coming at the time that an impeachment inquiry has been announced by Kevin McCarthy. So again, it's all very coincidental timing, but here we are. And on that note, of course, Kevin McCarthy last week, under a lot of pressure from the Freedom Caucus and members of Congress to go ahead and open this impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, which he did not want to do. Kevin McCarthy is a rhino, and I don't care what you say. He caved to Biden on the debt ceiling stuff. He's going to do it again. We're going to have this government shut down. Oh dear, dear me. Government's going to shut down. Heavens to Betsy. No, it's going to be just fine. No one's going to feel an impact by it if the government does shut down. Social Security and welfare, that all keeps going. Medicare, it all keeps going, which I wouldn't be super sad if those things shut down, but that's, again, a different point for a different time. The government shutdown is not the end of the world. Kevin McCarthy and this impeachment inquiry could mean the Democrats want the government to shut down because it will stop the inquiry into Biden and, of course, stop Jim Jordan for a little bit. I don't know. I think the Democrats want the government to keep going, spend more money. I think generally Republicans don't. So, Hunter Biden, as we said, indicted. Is this a political move, or is this really Lady Justice serving up some justice on a platter and smacking Hunter Biden in the face with it? Let me know in the comments below. I believe that this is a very important story because I think Biden obviously should be thrown the slammer for a long time. I also think this is probably trying to take some of the heat off the Justice Department for going after Donald Trump like they are, which, again, I'm a DeSantis guy, but what they're doing to Trump is completely unjust and unfair. It doesn't mean he should be president, but it is completely unjust. DeSantis is going to get in. He's going to clean the swamp, really, and drain it. Trump had 4 years to do it. He didn't do pretty much a darn thing on that topic of draining the swamp and getting out the unelected bureaucrats. So, DeSantis 2024 for me. So, Hunter Biden indicted. That's my analysis. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this with your friends if you do enjoy. We're trying to grow the channel and reach more people with it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you do enjoy. Folks, thank you for watching. This has been Fight and Revive with Adam Boyer.